Okay, in tonight's episode we are going to work on pulling the timing cover off and see what kind of damage is in there. I realized from the first video we sort of skipped over the whole intro as why we're doing this, so we'll recreate a little bit of that. But first, we've got it dropped about a foot, the whole subframe dropped about a foot out of the car and on a dolly and supported. So I'm going to get it up a little higher to be able to work on it. But if we look back at our ceiling, we're limited in ceiling height. So we're going to raise it as much as we can before we crash into stuff. So here goes. Our first interference would be the garage door opener. I'm going to bump it a little more. Make sure we're not hanging up on anything under here. Alright. That should give us good access. I think it might latch. Let me let it down and see if it latches. No, bump it a little higher. There it clicked. Come down. Okay. Alright, we're going to get set up and I'm going to go unplug the garage door opener so no one tries to open it and we have crashed into a car. Alright, we'll bring you back when we're ready. Okay, we have pretty good access to the front of the whole engine. Well, the whole reason we're doing all this is because this car shut off in the middle of the street and it wouldn't start. Acted like a dead battery. Even though the battery was good, then we came upon this phenomenon where the engine wouldn't turn at all. Of course, now it's going to make me a liar and decide to turn. But I have this bad feeling that there's something going on with the timing chain, because that's a known issue with these GM 3.6 engines. So we're going to pull it off and look at it and see what's going on, because it was locked up tighter in the drum. I've got some tools out here. It looks like I'm going to have to take these valve covers off to get the timing cover off also. But I know this balancer is going to have to come off, water pump pulley, tensioner, these sensors, so we'll start there. So let's go with some of the easy stuff. Just leave it going. Hopefully they'll break loose. Alright, go for all the 10s. This is probably some kind of cam position sensor. Right now, just unplug that bad boy. Just knock all the 10s loose and then we'll go from there. Power steering pump reservoir. Looks like it's attached to everything. I think I'd already broken that loose, see if I can do it. Alright, get them. Guess I'd done that one, there's that one. Alright. Strip this back out of the way. There's one I think I missed.
start putting these bolts back in because I am not going to remember where they all go. That, little fish out of the way. Alright, let me stick these back in the holes. Because that is just holding the bracket. And so is that. Wrong place. That would have been down there. Alright, now this sensor. That must be a variable valve timing actuator. We'll set that down there and we'll rely back on this footage to remember where all that went. And that's stripped out of the way. That's back in. Those are loose. Okay, well you get the picture. Gonna unhook some of this, pull it back, and then we'll bring you back when there's some more exciting stuff to show. Okay, I unhooked these sensors, got this out of the way, ran these bolts back in. This water neck pulls out as it's sandwiched in there. These unhooked. Got the power steering reservoir unbolted. There's a bolt back behind it, kind of got it shoved out of the way. Water pump pulley off. Got a couple other things to go after here. So looks like that water pump needs to come off there, so we'll pull it off next. I had replaced this once in the car. It actually wasn't too bad. I was highly surprised. And come to find out it wasn't even the pump leak, and it's almost like they didn't torque it to the engine enough. Let's see how much sealer I used. I don't remember. Apparently enough, because there's still antifreeze in there. You know, it might be a lost cause, but let me grab something to try to catch some of that before I get too much of a mess. Okay, get the water pump out of there. I have most of it on the floor, some of it's in the pan. I guess next we're going to go after the balancer. It's got a 19mm bolt in the middle. Okay, it's going to be a little noisy. From what I read, this thing's pressed on. So, I searched high and low and found a 3-jaw puller that I had. And miraculously found all the pieces. So we're gonna give it a shot because there are no press-on holes in this thing. So I cheated a little bit and looked online at what other people are doing, and I've seen them do this. Of course, my puller's not the best quality. So I loosened the bolt. It's in there. I'm going to press against that. It's centered very well, but I'm not sure what my choices are here. I'm sure everybody knows this, but you don't want to pull against the outside because this is a piece of rubber separating the two halves. You want to pull on the metal part only. So, alright, let's see what happens. Okay, appears to be moving. You back the bolt out a little bit. don't know if any of you caught that, but my puller lost a nut right in the middle of all that. So I'm going to fish that out of the antifreeze pan and put it back together, and we'll bring you back in just a second. Okay, so my cheap made in somewhere puller stripped out the screw while we were out that far, so I guess I need to get a puller tomorrow. So before we call it quits tonight, see what else we can tear up. Apparently we can tear up the impact because I didn't want to take that off. So let's go old school on this. We'll take off this tensioner. We'll take it off now with that. Guess that center bolt has it too. Yeah, that battery didn't get any stronger. Yay! So there's the serpentine belt tensioner out of the way. Doesn't feel too bad. Okay. Deal with that when I get a new puller. It looks like this cover is all one gigantic piece. So either I'll have to go in there and fish this power steering pump out of the way, or I can take that pulley off. Believe it or not, I have a power steering pump pulley remover installer set. So all I need to do now is refresh my memory how to use this thing, and we'll see if we can maybe get this off tonight. Okay, so this power steering pump pulley is pressed on here. I've had this tool forever. I think I've used it twice. So maybe a little rusty at this. Let me show you what I've done thus far. This stud that comes in the kit, the inside of this pump shaft is threaded. So you thread that thing in. The outside of the hub has like a little recessed lip around it. Part of the kit is a clamshell looking affair. I got it on wrong. Actually, it goes the other way. These little two pieces hook around here, and this threaded thing with a big nut with a flange on it fits in the other half. And put that on there. Back it off a little bit. Another three-handed job. Oh, I had it right the first time. That goes in there. And then tighten it down while this collar slides on. Now it's kind of captured on there. And so you turn this screw and hold this, and it should push this pulley right off here. Didn't bother going looking for the right size wrench. We'll go old school with the apparently I didn't look for the right size socket either. Yeah, let me go hunt for that. I'm going to bet that's a 5/8. I can probably find that real quick. 5/8. This is something. Okay. And the wrench falls right in the drink, and you repeat. Alright, here, pop. Either something broke or it moved. Bam, there we go. So now that's accessible. That should come out. I'm going to put all these pieces back in the box, and I believe we're going to call it a night.